This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome everyone to tonight's September 5th, 2023 Bladen County Board of Commissioners meeting. At this time, I will ask Reverend Adam Sale, Center Baptist Church, to lead us in invocation, and then ask Mr. Greg Martin, our clinic manager, to lead us in the resolution.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to gather tonight. We go about conducting the business of the county. God, help us to remember that we are blessed, we are honored. We have the privilege just to live in the creation that you have given to worship you in everything that we say and do, and even how we think, how we carry out your will and your plan, not our own. Help us to always honor you with our thoughts, our words, and our actions. We'll always be honorable examples of your creation, created in your likeness. Serve you and you alone. In your Son Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we approve this consent item, it's being removed. Item number 8. Off the consent item. You need a motion, Mr. Chairman.
I'll motion that consent item number H be removed. Second.
And approve the rest of the consent items.
And approve the rest of the item.
All right, thank you. Mr. Bullock, I have a second by Mr. McGill. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Individuals, wish to address visitors, Dr. Jason Reynolds, superintendent of the Hall R. Brown Leadership Academy. Greetings, everyone. Happy to have you with us tonight, sir. What would you? Shall I sit or stand, sir? I'd rather stand. Whatever you like. Yeah, I'd rather stand. Sir, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for having me here and getting on the agenda to make a presentation and request support at Hall R. Brown Leadership Academy. Next slide, sir. I shared with you guys a packet that goes more in detail about what we're requesting, but I did want to go through some slides today to do a short presentation just to give an oversight. But again, the packet I shared is more detailed. If you have a chance to look at it, the opportunity to present. I know you guys have a busy schedule, but this is our purpose. We really want to request $70,000 out of $141,000 to renovate many price rollable core gymnasium at Hall R. Brown Leadership Academy. I'm gonna kind of walk you through that process. I got some pictures I want to show you, and just kind of talk about the proposal and quote. Next slide, please. So, like a good neighbor, Hall R. Brown Leadership Academy is always there. These are some of the things we do in the community, and there's a list of them. And at the top, you see East Arcadia Summer Camp. We had a summer camp with about 55 kids. Hall R. Brown provided teachers, transportation, and we didn't charge them anything to do those things. So those things came out of our pocket to support that. Also, for the first time, Elizabeth town had a cheer camp, and one of their students, a former student, he's the cheer captain there at North Carolina Central, approached me about having the camp, and he wanted to know how much going to charge him. And I told him if the kids are coming for free, then the building is yours for free. We donated the building, used our facilities. We had 55 kids to show up for that camp. I've been in Bladen 8 years, and we never had 55 kids show up for a camp. But that was outstanding for the community. And then we have a Lydia Smith scholarship committee out of Clockton, family out of Clockton. Most of the family live up in New York now and New Jersey, but they come out every year and do a camp. And it's free to the kids. And last year they did that at one of the local churches. But of course, the church doesn't have the resources needed to have a camp for students. So they did a K through 5 literacy camp for reading, and they did a 6 through 9 STEM camp for finance. And again, we donated the building to them. We didn't charge them anything. They got to use our facilities, our touchscreen boards, all of those things just to support the community. But again, list of those things, the White Lake Festival, East Bay Homecoming, we also do the Bladenboro Christmas Parade, all of those things are listed there at Jones Lake. Next slide, please. And that's a little bit more, Veterans Day appreciation. We post the colors at the town council every month. So all of those things that we do, the MLK Parade in Elizabeth Town, And we also support, strong support for Bladen Community College. This year we got 17 cadets taking classes. Never had more than 4 or 5 in the previous 10 years of the school history. And then we have 17 cadets taking college courses that all contribute to the strength of the economy. Next slide. So this is what we do on a national scale to put Bladen County on the map. Because when a drill team goes, and Donovan Gomes can tell you, goes nationally, and you win, the first thing they say is, where you from? But we always say Bladen County, not Elizabethtown. We always tell our cadets, you're from Bladen County. So that everybody knows that Bladen County is on the map. So it's 17, 18, 20, 22, and 23 national champions. And that's a great contribute to the Bladen County folks and helping us support all our Brown Leadership Academy throughout the years. Washington, D.C., Charlotte, Alexandria, Jacksonville, Florida, Daytona Beach, and even as far as Lexington, Kentucky. Next slide. So let's get to the good boy. This is how our current gym looks. And this is a hole on the floor. It's so disturbing that we canceled all our home games of basketball last year. We played at other schools and used their gym as our homes, like Thomas Academy and up in Greensboro also. But this is one of the holes in the corner we're trying to fix. It has to be replaced. The gym was attached in 1948. So when we had the gentleman come out and do the quote for us to take a look at it, he was quite impressed that a gym stood this long for so long in 1948. But of course, humidity, weather, and all those things, wood can only last so long. Next slide. So this is another piece of patchwork that was done on the gym. Of course, that's wood, but it's not basketball court wood. So you can't play with any kind of wood. There's a certain kind of wood you use for a basketball court. And of course, that was just some patchwork done over the years. Next slide, please. Another side of the gym. So it's kind of heartbreaking to know that you got to play your home games at somebody else's court. But I can tell you, when at Thompson Academy, we bust the entire cadet corps to the game. And even though we lost the game, every time our cadets scored a basket, they went crazy. So at that point, in my mind, in my heart, I decided we need to fix this. It was going to go in it alone. I got the quote for $41,000. We're raising money. We're about halfway there. But I'm hoping that you guys help us get us across the line. As you can see, what we're dealing with. The floor has to be completely replaced. Next slide, please. This is before my time. But these are our goals in our gym. And when the guy walked in there, he couldn't believe that it was up. Whoever put him up did a great job. Because remember, since 1948, but this has to be replaced. Wooden backboards, wooden structures to hold the goals in place is something that the kid's not going to be proud of. Next slide. But it's something we can be proud of. This is how the new gym floor is going to look. I'll go to an example of the floor. Because we do drill, house ceremonies, this floor is able to take the movement, the drills, the rifle, all those things without damage. It's actually cheaper than wood. This is actually the same kind of floor that's on the Miami Heat. It's not wood. They're just going to paint it. So the next slide, they put the grooves in to make it look like wood. But this is what we need because it doesn't come to the humidity that's in the gym, and this can withstand the things we want to do on the court. And it's about $5,000 cheaper than using wood and less maintenance. So you don't even need a cover for it when you doing those things on the drill on the gym floor. Next slide. So I don't know how this works with county commissions. I've been in education for 18 years, and I've never asked for any funding for anything. But I will tell you, I'm not here just holding my hand out. This slide I want to show you that over the last 18 months, what we have spent in Bladen County alone, $783,000 alone at Bladen County businesses alone. And I shared with you in your packet the list of all those organizations, companies, businesses that we share with at the back to say how much we spend on each company, but $783,000. That's the last 18 months alone. That's a lot of money to put into the community. And we're proud of that. So we're not just coming here and saying, give us some money. We're saying we'll invest it back in Bladen County. as we should. Next slide. That's all I have as far as the presentation. I'm ready to take any questions that you may have of me, pertaining to the slides or to the packet.
So how fast, or how soon do you need these funds?
Very quick, I knew it was gonna come, and I haven't got again this morning to make sure. The project will start the end of September, and it will take about 5 weeks to complete. The biggest part of the project is, of course, the demolition of the floor. So once the demolition of the floor completes, and we actually have an opportunity to save about $10,000 if we provide our own folks to take the debris as they tear it out and put it in dumpsters. They charge a lot of money, about $18,000 to do that. I said, well, how can we reduce that? He said, well, they can tear it up. You can have guys there and put it in the dumpster. You save about $10,000. So that's the plan for us to do. But it takes about 5 weeks from the time they start to the finish. So he said about the middle of November, end of November, the project should be complete. The last thing to go will be the 2 basketball goals, they just order and hang them up.
Everything is already, coded and authorized already. So you have already.
Well, no, that part they're still working. But he's coming again tomorrow to do the measurements and the coding and all of those things. But he checked the structure twice over the summer to make sure that there's no surprises, because the building has kind of got some age to it. So he wanted to make sure he didn't come in there and say, we're going to charge you this, and then when they start tearing it apart, find all kind of issues and make the price go up. So,
Those goals gonna be electronic?
no, they're going to be still hung from the wall, but they're going to be the metal kind of like at the high school.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't afford the electronic ones.
I just want to say thank you, Dr. A. I've been mad at you for a few years, but I'll get over it. You mean more to my boys than I do, I think, so I love you for that and appreciate you. But what a great presentation, your humility. What you're going to do with $141,000 is pretty awesome. Shows you did your homework. And I know Mr. McCoy back there, man, you guys are you're awesome, and I appreciate you. I know that Paul R. Brown is special to everybody in the room. We're proud, whether it's a parade or whatever it is, and their greatest asset right now is you. So thank you. The only thing I hope if we somehow find this money that you'll sign at least about a 4-year contract.
I don't know how much art money is left around this table, but that would be a great investment, that art money to help you.
Sure, we appreciate that.
The other thing is, at one time, when they was on the building, the roof was the issue. Have you gotten that?
Yes, sir, that's a great point. Yes, sir, we worked on the roof, Mr. McCoy and his team worked on the roof, and we got the roof fixed. That was the first issue, was getting the roof fixed, because there was need to do anything else with a bad roof. But the roof is fixed, so now we can work on the inside of the gym and the floor.
I want to make sure that the issues like that.
And the plan was to do the gym completely. I didn't want to piecemeal to do the floor 1 year, do the backboards 1 year, because you know how that goes. If you want a new floor and the same backboards, or new goals in the same floor. Mm-hmm. So I asked the guy, what would it take to start from one end, they'll complete it through the gym, and renovate this gym at once. And I want to do it as least cost as possible. So.
The other version is I'm trying to think, the heating system and the air conditioning, what kind of, I know it had a heating system in it.
Well, there's a heating system in there, but I think the air conditioning is going to have to be some down the road. Because we got to figure out how to get that installed in a gym with that kind of structure from 1948. But it does have heat. Right now we have it's pretty cool inside, and that's gonna put, what do you call the thing? Heat. No, it's for to keep it cool. Something to put in the ceiling. Yeah.
Big ass thing.
Right, they're gonna put them in the ceiling, the cabinet. And we had some things in there during the summer for our drill camp, and I was really impressed how cool it was in there. I mean, I was like almost scared to go over there because it was so hot outside. But then when I went inside, I was kind of impressed with the temperature inside of there.
Bleachers are okay.
Yes, sir, the bleachers are fine.
And I apologize if this is in here. Wow, what a great bit of information. You said you've raised about half the money. Where does that come from?
We had to make some cuts over last year to get some carryover funds because we knew we wanted to do this project. We knew we had to have some money down to get it started. So we just kind of tightened our belts up over last year to make sure we have some money to do that this year. I mean, I made this the project because I know it's a big project, but I had to take a chance on doing it. Because that's something I think we needed to really get done.
What was the total cost again?
141, sir. It's a little 141,000.
Is the project hinging on us giving you the money?
No, sir. No,
You
sir.
just like for us to reimburse the money
Right.
back?
It kind of helps us out, yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of a blessing because I'm going to be able to prove just in time for me to come before you guys and ask. But, we've had to scratch and scrape, we got a donation last week to help out. And we're going to continue to do that. But really that was no end in sight. We just kind of work it and keep working until we get where we need to be. It's a project I felt like this had to be our yearly project. We just couldn't let this go on any longer. I mean, you guys seen the pictures.
Yeah.
Almost that kid in the gym, it looks like that.
And your restrooms be, remodeled and everything.
Yes, sir.
So, but what I'm asking, so the money that, if we can come up with some money, that would be supported other projects, but it wouldn't stop the project.
Right.
The whole project would support it.
Dr. Ray, I first would like to commend you and your predecessor prior to you. I'm in business downtown, and we have a lot of out-of-town traffic, nearby traffic. And it's amazing the comments that are made and the students that come in from out of this area and make a lot of sacrifices to get here. So many of our people didn't know for years, and I'm sure some of them still don't know. Everything was thinking about a disciplinary school like it was years ago. And where all that has changed, prior to the pandemic, when the Optimist was very active, some of the requirements was the essay contest, first one thing and another. And it was slow coming from our high schools locally, but reached out to Paul Brown. They would do it just like that every time and host the event at school. So I encourage all of us to work hard, look at it hard, make this happen, because when we call on you, whether it's the sheriff's department or whoever needing the colors presented, you're there.
That's right.
And what time in our country that we're living in now, respect we have for what you try to implement, what you do for our county to make it.
But the thing I would like to say is, that's key to me, is the way that you're reinvesting back. You spending that kind of money back, supporting local vendors, people in the community, now letting me know that you're really circulating the money inside of this county and reinvesting it back to our business here in town. And I think I didn't know y'all was doing that. I'll be honest, I thought you'd find from outside, to invest that kind of money back in the county. That's a real recognition.
Sure. And that's only 18 months worth.
I want to say thank you for how you're advancing our students doing their educational endeavors. I appreciate what you all are doing at Paul R. Brown. The kids are really progressing, and we really appreciate what you all are doing.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Dr. Ray.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time.
Thank you.
Any other individual delegations wish to address the meeting? Matters of interest to commissioners, introduction of Peyton Laney.
Evening to each of you. I would like to introduce you to a very bright young lady.
She's got a really good.
This is Peyton Laney. She's coming to us from Reidsville. She's with the North Carolina LEAD program that we applied for last spring. And she is sponsored by local governments and the School of Government, but she's funded, let me give you the list. AmeriCorps, State Employees Credit Union Foundation, Z. Smith Reynolds, Wells Fargo, Golden League, State Farm, Jesse Ball DuPont Fund, and private philanthropist. She is a summa cum laude graduate from Appalachian State with a BS in political science with a concentration in international and comparative politics, and a BA in German language, literature, and culture. After graduation, she went to Washington, D.C., where she served as a campaign finance apprentice. And then in September of last year, she received a Fulbright scholarship, and she went to Berlin and came back from there in June, where she was teaching English. Right now, she's with us for the next 11 months. Well, 2.5 months now, I guess it is. She's already been with us for half a month. But she's gonna be with us, helping with research for compliance, for auditing, and trying to help us with our auditing findings and that type of thing, solid waste funding and Medicaid. And there's probably going to be some more things because she's such a quick study. She's picking up so fast. I told her she's gonna work herself out of a job if she would slow down. So if y'all will help me welcome Peyton, please.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. When I was reading the same things that, Lisa just read, I thought, oh, yeah. How in the world did this young lady make it to Bladen County?
We're thankful. We're thankful.
That's what I'm saying. We are very thankful for sure. Those criteria, I mean, that's top-notch stuff. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, because this program I'm very familiar with, and y'all guys, some of the counties have picked up these individuals, and they have went to work for those counties in the state. And they are encouraging us to seek these young people that's coming in and try and see can we let Bladen County be a blessing to her. I know that you want to stay down here tonight. We can try and entice her and work with this young lady and see if we can get her to be a part of this Bladen County family. So that's what they're telling you guys out. They willing to come in and take on that endeavor just to try out to help you in your. The ideal is to try and give them permanent employment if they will seek it in the county. My best wishes, if they come to me wanting to hire you for what they're talking about, I say you got a job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any matters of interest to commissioners? Hey, Ms. Renee Davis, Tax Administration.
Good evening.
At
this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Marie McCoy. Ms. McCoy, you come up. I'm sorry, I don't have more information to share. As Ms. McCoy has indicated, she wanted to speak directly to the Board of Commissioners. After her presentation, if there's any research or anything I need to gather, I would gladly do so.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I need to, what I intend to do is call off some figures, and it's on 3 parcels of land, and I would prefer to sit. Okay, the first one would be parcel number 0004141. It is 4.56 acres, and this is under the name of Ruby Effort and others. I'm going to name off some years, then I'm going to give you the property assessed value. And I'm going to go back to 1998. 1998, we have a value of $52,400. This is 4.56 acres. 1998 again, I have receipts on all of this. 1998 again is $23,800. This is the same piece of property. It's gonna get better. Or worse.
How have you got to the value for it?
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. 2014, we have $118,320.
How much?
$118,320.
Same property?
Same property. 2014, again, I have the receipt. It's $131,980. 2013, again, we have $52,400. 52,400. 2013, again, we have $130,390. Yes, sir. 2014, we got $131,990. 2016, here we go again, $118,320. 2016, $16,410.
Again, what year?
2016, we got two 2016s.
Okay.
things are repeating except that I have receipts for it.
Yeah.
2016 again is $16,400, $410. 2017, $18,320. 2019, $131,900, $980. 2019 again, $118,320. 2019, $133,430. 2021, $130,390. 2023, $36,300. 2023, $31,000. 2023, $130,390. None of this makes sense. 2023, let me do that again. 2023, $130,390. I have receipts. 2014, $23,240. And this year is $130,390. Okay, that is that parcel. All of these is under Ruby Evans and others. Okay, now we have.
Is that why you talking?
Sure. Most certainly.
I was confused.
I am too. That's why I'm here.
Where's the property located at?
Yes, sir.
Have you been paying taxes on all this, what you're saying?
I do pay basically the math on it. My family has paid it up to this point.
And Mr. Chairman, but every time you get, like two, amounts, the property value for the same year, you pay both of them?
I can't tell you, it's paid. Up to this point, it is paid.
Paid in full.
In full. Okay, this is parcel number 0041731, 0.34 acres. Year 2013, property value $18,300. 2013 the same, 2014 the same, 2015 the same, 2016 $16,400. 2018 $2,750. 2019 $2,754. And this parcel number 003694. The date 2013, value $2,300. Date 2023, $4,306. 2014, $2,300. I can't wrap my head around none of this, so that's why I'm here.
Can I ask you a question? Have you met with Ms. Davis so she could show her this?
I spoke with Mrs. Davis about it.
So you,
I also spoke to the manager. I forget his name right now.
so you let her research it already?
I don't know what Mrs. Davis has done.
No, I did, when she questioned, she just wanted to speak with y'all first.
She wouldn't give you any information?
All I know is about it's on website.
The information was given to who's the manager?
I am. Behind you. Yes, Mr. Grady.
Okay, it was given to him.
No, that was the thing. Renee told me, Mr. Chairman, Ms. Davis informed me of this situation and that Ms. McCoy wanted to come to the board meeting. So I called to try to find out, we could obtain information. And you indicated that you'd like to.
I also gave you figures. I said nobody's taxes can run from $36,000 to $130,000.
That's right.
Yes, I did.
But it was not specific, because I asked again, you said, well, all right, I'm gonna tell you one more time. I said, thank you. Because I was trying to follow what you were saying.
Well, I was really, the problem is I just really was having a difficult time trying to deal with Mrs. Renee. That's why I wanted to speak to the board, but I did give you figures. And I also gave you.
Nothing like you just shared.
Well, no, I didn't, but I did tell you that the property value had run from $39,000 or $36,000 to $52,000 to $118,000 to $130,000. I did tell you that.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I'd like to see us to just, do a research on this and.
That's exactly. That's gotta be done.
Yeah, there's got to be, definitely.
Yeah, we need to do a research.
Yeah.
And then look at the general statute to see what kind of power we have in this.
Ms. McCoy, so what we need you to do is, any information you have that you can give to Ms. Davis, so she can research this for us, is what we need, because there's no way we can look at that right now. I mean, that's really.
I understand, I understand.
She's gonna have to research, that's her job. And then she'll come back to us and let us know what's going on. Okay?
I got one question, Mr. Ford, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Did you ask her to research this or ask any questions?
I did not, because the last time that I was in this, commissioner's office, it was on another piece of property. And I kind of had a little problem with Mrs. Renee, so I figured I would not bother her with this again, even though it may be her job. I wanted to come directly to you guys because I can't understand how none of this could possibly happen.
We don't either, we don't have the.
I don't have a clue as to what this is.
How long have you noticed that the inconsistencies of what you're showing us?
Just recently, because
You just got compiled all of it together.
yes, I lost my tax records and I tried to retrieve them from other parts of other family members. I did get some from them, but I finally found my tax paperwork because I keep my receipts. And that's when I started going over this, and I saw the recent tax information come out. It was sitting at $130,000. I said, what?
Well, I'm asking, do you have documentation of every payment?
Everything. He has the biggest one. Mr. Peterson, he has the biggest one looking at it now.
I just,
Okay, yes, ma'am.
I understand you said you just looked and asked others to, your family to give you all the information. Did anyone in the last 5 years look at that and say, hey?
Well,
Anyone?
that was the thought of mine too, but see, I don't pay taxes. My family, they take care of the taxes. They don't look at nothing.
So it's more than one person paying these taxes?
This is, Ruby Evans and others, and the others is for about 4 others.
So everybody would get bills, is what you're saying? They would just pay them out? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
everybody wasn't getting bills. I think the bill goes to my sister. And they were just saying it.
As soon as she got it, she would just pay it. She would just pay it as soon as she got the bill.
I don't know if only she got it, but I know it was all paid.
Mr. McCoy, where's the property located?
Falk Road, Bladenburg, it's in Bladensboro. Falk Road, West Falk Road, 808 West Falk Road.
All right, Ms. McCoy.
It can't make no sense.
Yeah, we're going.
Can I have?
We definitely gonna have to have some research done.
Get with Miss Lady.
But wait a minute, but also, it should have been.
Any information?
Is anything on that property?
There's 2 old houses that need to be torn down. One person living in one, and that's it.
And what did you say the value now with the last?
The value standing now, the value last year, which is, wrap your head around it, was $131,000. This year's $130,908.
Gotcha.
The year prior to that was it was 16 to 19,000.
Well, the original, it starts out at 16,000. That's the last time I saw it a couple of years ago. Might be about 5, 6 years ago, maybe longer. It was 36,000.
Because I was just looking at when you were saying 18, it went down as low as 18.32.
No, 118,000. There's probably some on there.
You got 136,300. 31 is 5,000. Look at it.
Well, you can look at what I got if you want. What was that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCoy, can you make them a copy of all that? Can y'all get a copy of all that for us, please? Okay, I was just looking at when you was calling the figures out, when it went up to $133.90, but you gave us $36,300.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I have.
That's what I'm saying, so it's down
It dropped.
Last year, that low. Then it went back up. Okay, so never mind. We gotta look at this.
Dr. King.
I am too.
When
That's
you
why I
leave them a
followed.
copy, please. Can we get a copy of that stuff?
To who?
Give it to Martin or Renee, whichever one you choose.
They took it off the copy though.
Okay. Any information, would you please send it to my address? After this, after your findings? Thank you.
You got address to, Mr. Martin.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can somebody go get copies before you leave?
Can you go up and duplicate it?
Mr. Robbins will do it.
Thank you, Robert.
Mr. McCoy, Mr. Robbins will do it for you.
Mr. McCoy.
He's gonna make copies, I'll go with you, make copies.
Okay.
Renee, are you gonna do the PowerPoint here?
Nothing for me. I'm done. But I will get that, I will research and I will get everything that we can get and we'll get back to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy.
Thank you.
Next up, Ms. Vicky Smith, Director of Department.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good.
Good evening again. Hope everybody had a good, relaxing holiday. I am here tonight to request reclassification of a Family and Children's Medicaid 2 position to a trainer/staff development specialist to assist with the training of staff for Medicaid expansion. I think I have shared with you that through the process of Medicaid expansion, we've not been getting a lot of information. We do understand now that Medicaid expansion will affect the Family and Children's Medicaid area. It covers ages 19 through 64, I believe is what it is. So with the positions that we have requested, which was granted to us for Medicaid expansion, that would put our unit up to 15 staff members. That is right at the cutoff limit of what the state recommends that a person can, or a supervisor can lead in Family and Children's Medicaid. So we are proposing that this change would happen to create this position to assist with training of Medicaid, to help with the auditing. I would like to add right now, in the Family and Children's Medicaid area, the audits that are happening within a month is 150 audits through audits that we're doing for our HHSA group, for county finance. Plus we have, we're in our RETA audit right now, which is an extra 20 audits. So that would be 170. So with this, there is going to be a lot of work to be done by one person. We're asking for this to be an assistant or, an assist to that supervisor. This is no cost to the county, which we think is a win-win situation. The state, I know right now we don't have a beginning date for Medicaid expansion. I think you may have already received some information, possibly December 1st. We're not for sure of that. The NCDHHS is encouraging counties to continue with what our plans are. Currently in Medicaid, we are unwinding from the pandemic. All of our policies changed. We've had a tremendous amount of turnover in Medicaid, in both Medicaids. So our seasoned workers, they have been doing the pandemic Medicaid for over 3 years now. They don't even remember the old policy. And our applicants that we're receiving do not have Medicaid experience. They are just right off the street with the qualifications. So we are going to be having to start training from ground zero. So we feel that this would be a positive thing. This is something that we enacted in November of 2010 with food stamps. You never hear anything out of our food nutrition program. I feel like with what we started in 2010 with this position and food stamps, that has been one of the keys to their success. So that's what we're mirroring with this request.
I have a motion to approve by Mr. Britt, I was seconded by Dr. Ellis. Any discussion?
I forgot what was the number of staff that they recommended for you to hire?
For us, it was about 7 positions.
You feel those 7 positions?
No, we are advertising and we're getting applications in.
So, and you got 7 positions coming.
Correct.
This is gonna be a person that can oversee those 7 positions?
This will be one of those positions. We want to reclassify it up to the staff development.
The reason I asked how you feel those positions, a lot of the counties are saying that they're having extreme difficulty trying to fill those slots. And I was wondering how you feel, Joey, because they say it's about impossible to do.
It is difficult. Like I said, we're having to accept staff that have the requirements, meaning they have the basic requirements. You have to bring them in and have to start from ground zero training them.
Salaries competitive across the board, one kind of.
Comparative. We've not done a full study in about 2 years.
I just know some of the guys.
It's a problem across the state, all across DSS, whether it be in income maintenance or the social work side of the house.
You have a proposed person to fill this position already?
We have staff in the agency that could fill that position. Of course, it's going to have to be someone that knows Medicaid. You can't bring somebody in off the street to do this. We do have qualified staff.
This will be advertised on the website and everything?
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. We'll go through the proper procedure.
Important that they know the Medicare law, CPS, and all that. I agree.
Didn't they remove the penalty phase of that off? So did they take at one time they were talking about penalizing people for errors and not being sufficient. Did they take that off? Legislative did they take that stipulation off?
They're not looking at cases. I mean, they changed policy, so everything was kind of like passed through.
A lot of guys complaining that they didn't want to be penalized for not having staff to handle these cases.
Right. That is our concern as well. We're trying to be proactive to try to get people in, get them where they need to be, so that when the expansion does start, we feel that we are ready.
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve. We've already had a motion. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Not opposed, I'm for it.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's a trying time right now with waiting. We feel like we are ladies in waiting.
Next up, we have Ms. Tasha Jones, our Human Resources Director. Good evening.
Thank you again. I come before you to request a recommendation for a supplemental insurance. Going forward, you have received the memo, is that correct? And we just want to.
Yes.
I think it's still, somebody dropped off.
I don't know where my phone was.
Please mute your phone. Stop.
All right, Ms. Jones.
So I'm asking you to consider accepting a supplemental insurance program benefits broker and to authorize staff to proceed to secure the necessary agreements. The committee met on August 3rd and August the 9th with representatives from EBAN and Pierce and Gallagher Group and McGriff.
And, we have come together and recommended event group. They're located in Clinton, North Carolina, which is adjacent to our county. One-on-one services they provide to employees, and they definitely will help with the, system that we currently utilize, which is the Employee Navigator for our supplemental benefits. And they would assist our admin staff with our finance, payroll, and myself with, streamlining invoices and the payment processes that we have.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Cosdale, second by Mr. Britt. Any discussion, questions?
Is this any impact on our current budget, anything?
No, supplementals are paid primarily by, the employees.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I saw, have we used in the past, or they're just new, completely new?
Completely new.
And I couldn't get
The benefits,
based on this.
based on, our supplemental benefits consist of our, dental insurance, supplemental additional life insurance,
Oh, all of them, okay.
Yes.
That,
social
Carry.
disability, yes,
bacteria.
bacteria plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Next, our Emergency Medical Services Director, Mr. David Howe.
Afternoon. We come before you guys to talk about a project we've actually been working on since May. What brought this idea about was, the active shooter incident that happened at East Bladen. Myself and Heather had to go to BCC to help with the COAMPS accreditation there, and we had gotten to discussions, boy, it'd be nice to have additional resources. So we got to toying around with it, and we actually discussed bringing BCC online as a EMS department on campus. This would be a unique first time for the state of North Carolina to have a community college with its own EMS department. They will operate at the advanced EMT level, servicing the campus itself. They would handle calls out there that we will transport. In the event we cannot transport due to being tied up, their unit will be state checked off and they can transport. I look at it as an additional resource for the county in the event, hope it never happens, but an active shooter event, for example.
Motion to approve. Motion to approve by Mr. Bullock, second by Mr. McGill. Any questions or discussion?
Normally EMS is under the director of what position? You are under the one hospital, they will do, I'm saying.
Yes, we will coordinate with the same medical director. Yes.
Is that currently who they with?
So what's going to happen is they will umbrella under us, under our system plan.
Oh, okay.
We will write them into our system plan as an agency. They'll have an agency license. And myself and Brian will work on that piece together with OMS to make sure everything's good to that point. We're just asking for your approval for the agreement and the standard operating procedures we've adopted for it.
Mr. Britt.
I'd like to say, as your representative on the college board, that the trustees there were excited very much about this, as well. Dr. Bladen back there can contribute to that, and we feel like it's a real good thing for the county and BC, especially having some of that in.
That's all the questions. So will the high schoolers will be able to take us?
So, obviously we have students on campus, whether they're EMT or paramedic in the programs, and we do have high school. We have the opportunity for high school students. This semester, we just didn't have enough interest from the high schools. It ebbs and flows. It is what it is. But those students would also be able to operate in this environment with our faculty to provide medical coverage to the campus. We have the right liabilities. We make sure that they wouldn't be causing any more liability because they wouldn't be operating the vehicle off campus. That's the faculty's responsibility. But they could still be part of that operating thing. It actually helps to them being a student because then they get to see what they're learning in real life under the tutelage of the instructors while they're there. So there's not really a loss to this because even if the students were to leave class to go deal with something on campus, if they're still learning, it's still the learning environment. We're just doing a field trip kind of thing. So the students are involved in it, the faculty are involved in it, and depending on how we set it up, we've already been talking about this, some of the faculty that are on campus that are not even medically trained, security, they would still be part of this so that CPR any kind of hands that can help. So yeah, students would be very well, able to participate in this as well.
They have to be what, 16 or 18?
They have to be EMT. You can be an EMT class at 16, but you can't be certified until 18. So those that are in EMT class, they would be as an observer. They could even do clinical. They could count part of that towards their clinical time if there was enough personnel in the faculty there, because we would be an EMS agency. But to participate in actual provider as being part of the EMS agency as it is, it would have to be somebody that's either in the AEMT or paramedic class, because they're already an EMT at that point. So everybody would be able to participate. It's just to what level they'd be able to participate.
And I guess the school will give you a certain spot in the school, and you'll, in the health science wing.
So we already have our lab. We already have a couple classrooms. We already have 2 ambulances, one that we're going to get state certified. And it's parked right outside the classroom. We've already got all that worked out. The students have already started going through the process of checking off the truck, checking off their equipment every day, just like they would if they were actually employed. And it lends them to get them more prepared, so that when he hires them, they already know how to check off the truck. They already know what's expected of being part of the EMS agency.
Will the college and high school get the prep?
Well, so when the students are on campus, they're taking the high schools would be involved in it, but the students that are on campus are taking the college's class. We're not teaching a class on the high school campus because we don't have that kind of. I would love to say in 5 years we'll have enough classes with students in both locations, but right now, no, not right now.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next, we have our emergency services director, Mr. Joey Coleman.
Hey, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Just want to come before y'all tonight to make y'all aware of the situation that we've got going on with Ammon Volunteer Fire Department. The Office of State Fire Marshal reached out to us back in March, and the fire department and let us know that Ammon Fire Department had failed their 9S ISO rating inspection. And Ammon has elected to appeal that inspection. So as of August 25th, just a week or so ago, Ammon has requested that appeal process be extended. So where we're at now is we've been in communication with the Department of Justice. They've reached out on behalf of OSFM, the DOI, Department of Insurance. And they're willing to try to remedy this problem if the county will be involved. So we have talked with Mr. Josh Wilson, Fire Chief at Ammon. They're in the process of getting their board of directors kind of revamped. They're looking to get that done. So if we can get that process, and at the request of the Department of Justice and the OSFM, a new chief in place, we should be able to move forward with trying to get Ammon back up on their feet and where they need to be after discussing some of the options that the Department of Justice has presented. Y'all can see on that, on the email that they sent, is that Ammon, the county, and the OSFM will agree to permit Ammon Volunteer Fire Department to continue operating for an additional year probation, but only if Ammon is placed under new management. After some clarification, like I said, that was the chief and the board. So we're just trying to come to you guys tonight to look for support with the county assisting Ammon on getting back where they need to be.
Was there need to be a motion?
No, I think you just update.
Absolutely.
How close are they on their numbers now? I know that was one of the biggest problems.
As far as their numbers, we hadn't got into those details yet. They're trying to get the management part of it ironed out. And once we get there, we'll be able to start moving forward. What that'll entail, once this new management gets into place, to try to keep them up to speed and give them a little bit of a crash course as to what's expected. The OSFM is going to be putting them on a little bit more of a stringent inspection period for the first year. So they're going to be doing monthly check-ins instead of, letting this thing snowball down into something that we can't handle. So that's what's going on there. I know that they've got a meeting set up for, I think, week after next to get that board done. And we'll be trying to move forward with that. So.
Yes, sir. Now,
They filed an appeal, right?
They did, and that's the part, that's how it ended up with the Department of Justice. This, you know, it was dealt with at the Department of Insurance, and like I said, AMA wanted to appeal that ruling and that inspection. So once it did that, it ended up having to go up above them, so that way they could get some representation to try to remedy that appeal.
Has that been a decision on the actual appeal then?
Well, this is kind of the decision. This is kind of where it's at. For us to try to move forward with Ammon, we're going to have to either do one of these three options, and Ammon wants to move forward with the third option. So we've had really good experience with, you know, new management at other departments in the county, you know, where they have started off having issues. New management's kind of brought them back up to speed and, you know, got them back on their feet.
So how many members do they need to be legal?
So they'll have to have 15. And all those 15 will have to have the required training that the state puts forth for 36 hours a year. And there are some different details that goes into that, but, you know, the fire departments are well aware, and OSFM will be working with them closely to make sure they are doing what they need to be doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ammon's still covering their area right now.
They have 14 on their roll, and they had 10 respond to a vehicle fire yesterday.
Wow.
They were excited that they had 10 show up.
Anybody else? Mr. Chairman, just for clarification, you all are in agreement for us to communicate with the Attorney General's office that we're working with them to pursue options. That's correct. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Appreciate it.
You see some advisory board appointments that will be consideration at our next meeting. Next, our ARPA enabling projects. Looks like there's only one. Sign. Is that correct? Yes, sir.
Is that one?
Chairman, that is the one, this has been on your, this application has, been on the list for some time now. There's been no action taken to approve it or to
Approve it or remove it.
We make a motion to give that company $10,000, it could be $2,500 from myself, Mark, Arthur, and it'll be, so in a total of $10,000.
Second motion.
What company is that?
That's
More.
Yeah, it's a very good. They've been working around here a long time.
Have a motion on Mr. Cogdell for $10,000, $2,500. Second, Cogdell, Mr. Gillespie, Mr. Bullock, and Dr. Mungold. Second was by Dr. Mungold. Any discussion?
When I first seen it, I thought they were actually in Wilmington. When I first seen it, I said, well, you know, if they're in Wilmington, they can contact the commissioners down there. But I understand it now.
Do they have an office here? When they bring groups in, they always stay at our camp facility, and they do, man, they're up early and get back late. Work hard.
They're active.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Make a motion, we remove the one that's not assigned. Which one was that?
Which one is that? That's the one you just voted on.
That's what we just voted on. Warren? No, Warren.
Well, that's what we just voted
We just voted on Warren. You just voted to give $10,000 to Warren.
That's it.
Yeah, that was one of them.
No, Greg said there's another one.
No, that's the only one.
That one's not assigned?
That's it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the one we had to assign.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that related to me?
Good.
Mr. Martin, before yours, sir.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to also point out that you do have printed copies of the audit reports.
Right.
I know, yes,
That was the only one that we could even do anything with, rest of them, please.
You can delete it.
I mean, which one is that?
Someone ineligible or the incomplete?
The one's unassigned. Page 3. Are those unassigned, Greg? This one, the ones that are incomplete?
They're incomplete.
My motion was to remove them from the list.
No, I'm waiting for documents for one of them,
Which one?
for the, American Legion.
American what?
American Legion.
Oh, you mean the bottom? No. Ineligible one?
6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, no, yeah, that's, yeah, we don't need 7 anyway, we move that one.
That was my motion.
7.
But now, The others down there, is in red as to what documents are needed, is that it?
They're unassigned.
Well, not the Mount Zion. Lisa's still trying to get up with the Mount Zion Church people. I just gave her a contact to get up with them.
And they're
So
eligible.
we're not gonna remove that one.
Just one, just 7. I think we can remove that one.
Just remove them.
Number 7.
What we got? 8 and 9.
So that a motion to remove number 7.
I was motion to remove number 7.
All right, second by Dr. Mongold, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Mr. Martin.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to review the calendar with you for September. And pointing out this Saturday the 9th is a busy day. Ms. Coleman just announced, or just informed me that the Bladenboro Fun Day has been canceled. Inclement weather that is forecasted, so we can remove that from the calendar. Also, that evening at 6:30, the East Arcadia Senior Citizens Banquet will be held at Tabernacle Believers Holiness Church, Multipurpose Building. That's what, at 6:30. Also, that evening from 8 until 11 p.m., there's a free summer concert at the Grand Regal in White Lake featuring Rigsby Road. On Monday, the 11th at 5 p.m., the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meets. Tuesday, the 12th at 8 a.m., the Bladen Soil and Water Conservation District Board meets. That evening at 5 p.m., the Board of Elections meets. Saturday, the 16th, from 10 until 6 p.m., the 31st Annual Dublin Peanut Festival event will take place in Dublin. Board meets on Monday, the 18th at 6:30. Saturday, the 23rd at 9 a.m., Elizabethtown's 250th anniversary homecoming weekend celebration will take place at the Cape Farmers Market. Also, on Saturday, the 30th at 8:30 a.m., there's a Strides Walk with Minister of Juvenile Diabetes Research sponsored by the Lions Club. Moving over to October, there's a prayer service on Monday, the 2nd here at 8 a.m. The board meeting that evening at 6:30. Thursday, the 5th at 6 p.m. Lake Community College Foundation Eating Dinner will take place at the Vineyard Winery. On Friday, the 6th, 7 until 10 p.m., Painting the Town Pink event will take place at the Cape Fear Farmers Market in Town. The Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meets on the 9th at 5 p.m. Board of Elections on the 10th at 5 p.m. On Saturday, the 14th at 8:30 a.m., Trooper Kevin Connor, a 5K and 1 mile run event will take place in Whiteville. Also that day from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., the North Carolina Grape Festival event will take place at Louisville Vineyard. On Monday, the 16th, the board has a special meeting at 4:30 at the Cooperative Extension Office for report to the people. And there's a regular meeting here at 6:30 on Tuesday, the 24th, from 9:30 until 3. There's a Area 7 Soil and Water Conservation District meeting, final station in Whiteville. On Friday, Saturday, the 27th and 28th, the 16th annual Beast Fest event will take place in Bladenboro.
Mr. Martin,
Yes, sir.
if I may please, Dr. Lee's here, I'll answer this. Are they selling, tickets to the foundation thing? I
We're
haven't.
gonna start selling them yet.
Okay,
Save the date.
okay. I've been looking at the calendar, when we be looking through it, used to be, we would have stuff on there about the Beaver Committee, stuff, we get off the front of the, they don't need them anymore.
The Beaver Committee, haven't seen anything about, we can follow up on that, I haven't seen anything lately.
I just noticed, I'm just seeing things start backing up, creeks drying up all over the place, and I'm just trying to figure out if beavers gonna start blocking up everything.
Well, that'd be, if I could, Mr. Cargill, we appoint one member next week, so it'd be next month, next meeting. If we could get them to give us a presentation before that appointment.
Yeah, we need to do something. I see everything backing up, you just don't see water no more.
I know the meeting got something to do with them.
There's somebody damming up or something. That'd be pretty good. Reach right.
They're not dammed up, they're just dry.
Yeah, they're ready. I'm just asking, is that the first time, 'cause I got some of them that always get a little water.
We're in a drought.
After that, after storm goes, and I end have some places that are still a lot of water, so.
I know one time it used to be they were backing up.
Kelly does this.
No problem, we can deal with it, come in.
All right. Yes, sir, I'll. Moving on to item B, the Board of Education has indicated that it would like to declare surplus the former Booker T. Washington school property. And as part of the general statute requirement, they are offering that to the Board of Commissioners to decline or accept part of the first right of refusal. This again is the property in Clark. It would be at fair market value or a negotiated price for it, so it wouldn't necessarily be a donation of the property, but I don't know that the county has any interest in the property. As part of the requirement it's being offered.
Was it someone for that area?
I don't know.
How much we declined the offer? I second that myself.
I have a motion that we decline the offer. Mr. Peterson, have a second by Mr. Cogdill. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Let them ask.
More about, I just wanna hear some more about, a little bit more discussion on that.
Yeah. When I'm back, we don't.
What's it supposed to do with it?
The counter, well, school board doesn't have.
I wonder what they're gonna do with it.
They have to.
The church group,
Huh?
a church group wanted what? The school.
Well, I know it's another
Booker T.
group.
Yeah.
It's a group in, Clark that won't give it to us.
Really?
Alumni.
Very much ready.
We try to figure out what to do with it, that's what I'm thinking about, I don't care who gets it.
We're not about,
We're just talking about, come in and tell what we can do with it.
All right, Mr. Mark.
All right, thank you. Moving to item C. This is in relation to the Creating Outdoor Recreation Economy, the core project. You may recall that Terry Dennis with the Chamber came before the board several months ago to request approval to make application for this program.
Make a motion, we approve.
Motion by Mr. McGill, second by Mr. Peterson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you. And item D. As you all know, we have retained the services of Sid Wyford and Act Associates to explore the transition from option A to option B, as far as the opioid settlement money. And as part of that, the county Board of Commissioners would need to appoint a steering committee, a formal steering committee. We've had an active group that's met, as you all know. However, there are certain categories of representation that need to be included on that committee. You have that information included in your packet. So just wanted to bring that to your attention for consideration and appointments at an upcoming meeting, hopefully the next meeting, if you all are ready at that time.
With the upcoming settlement that they reached on, the additional settlement, that would roll right into the same committee, right?
If it's like the other settlements have been.
So it should roll right over.
I haven't heard otherwise, so.
Is there a certain number of, I see the category, but I see one that says groups. Is that multiple people and different ones?
I think it can be multiple people. And you did see the breakdown in terms of the demographics.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Martin, if I may, Mr. Hester, we need to put people on this committee that's gonna attend these meetings now. Just keep that in mind when you make these suggestions. Oh, we've been meeting for years and years and years, a lot of people don't come. We need people that's gonna attend these meetings now. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Individual delegations, wish to address commission. Matter of interest to commission.
A couple of things. Speaking of those substance abuse task meetings next Tuesday at the health department at 2:00, if you can attend, please come.
What time?
2:00.
That's the last one.
They can be in the health department.
Health department, 2:00 next Tuesday. So, Mr. Hester, I want to talk briefly about this legislation that's been passed in Raleigh about funding charter schools and Paul R. Browns and public schools. I think, this is just my opinion, I think we as a board need to be sitting down and talking about this and understanding it. Because I'm telling you, when budget year comes next year,
we're not gonna be able to do the things we've been doing in the past, when we got to fund more than one school unit. So I would urge this board to sit down. Tomorrow won't be too soon for me, to let's start talking about this and understanding this, because we can't wait till budget time to talk about it. That's my opinion.
Can I ask a question, John? On that, is this capital improvement or this capital improvement, what we're talking about right now?
I mean, a good example tonight, they just passed it and Paul R. Brown here asked for capital money before we probably couldn't have done that.
Now you can.
But now you can. That's a good example.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, that's a very good thought. And just one thought I'm having while I'm hearing that. The school system, our county departments, the community college prepare a 5-year capital improvement plan so that the county has a sense of what types of projects are on the horizon. Ideally, the first time we see them, they're out they're on the out years, like 4 and 5 and that type of thing. It may be helpful just for us to have a sense of where the discussion needs to begin to provide that template to most of our charter schools here in the county, ask them if they've completed, just to get us, it doesn't mean that the county's gonna be able to fund it, but at least we'd have a sense of what the nature of their projects are gonna be.
I got one other one, with the lottery funds that they usually come with capital improvement, would that be affected how we do it now, just give it all to the school every time they come look at the money, would it be going to all?
I don't know.
That's what we need to talk about.
We haven't seen that those funds are eligible to be, I know we understand the sales tax.
That's exactly what we need to be talking about, where we're gonna get the money to fund these schools.
I was wondering if that lottery fund is going the same thing, where we've been giving it to the schools or wherever it is, we have to just disperse it. What kind of ratio we can give it out?
That's already by statute.
So you're on the right way. Well, that doesn't make any difference to the money part.
Ms. Chapman has a question.
Still got something.
I noticed that, and we know that a lot of COVID cases, now, we've been told in the business arena that a lot of cases of COVID, and I don't know if Dr. Yes, if you have any info about as far as the county where we are.
There is an increase in cases. It's difficult because the people are home testing now, and it's not required to report as it was. Yes, there is an increase without the hospitalizations and the deaths that we saw earlier.
I just thought we have a couple of communities that asked us for some help to get some supplies, like sanitizer, gloves, and all that stuff, because they had either a church or a small group, so they're looking for some help. And so I asked Mr. Cogdell if he would, I can give his number or Mr. Bullock so they can get some supplies.
It's a million masks, children masks, adult masks, hand sanitizer, anything you want. You just have to get us and make a conversation for us to get it. If you want it, you can have it. So it's sitting in the warehouse, it needs to go out there. So if anybody wants, just give me a call.
Well, they're asking for the supplies, so.
I got 2 things. First, I failed to commend our human resource. She put together and did an outstanding job putting together the supplementary insurance program groups together. And I commend you on what you did. Me and Mr. Cogdell sat in on that. And, you did a good job, and it was very well organized. I appreciate that. Number 2, and we have touched on this lightly before and thinking about what we got to do with the schools. Mr. Peterson has said it before, and I'll mention it again. We've sat and had to see our EMS that used to be all over the county, volunteers. It's gone away. You can't imagine what the expense will be if we don't sit down as a group and take it serious on some incentive for our firemen and our fire department. It's time to consider what we can do to help maintain that so we don't lose them like the EMS. Because we have to hire 70 firemen and all the equipment. That will be a disaster. And it's, like I said, Mr. Peter said, next year, I think we got to take a hard look at a lot of stuff. Better be proactive. You come up against the wall and lose.
Well, Mr. Britt, I brought that up in the advisory meeting about, when we didn't have any volunteer squads, they looked at me like, what are you talking about? But, yes, I agree with you on that because it'll be very expensive if we have to fund it ourselves. One other thing, if the state give funding to the private school for the students and they come back to the county school, does any of the funding come with them? Cool.
Honestly, it's in the middle of the year.
So it's a time element that they cut it off.
Well, the rule is the money follows the student, but like I said, at a certain time of year, it does stop.
Yes, October, November, 90 days, 90 days, something like that.
Is there any type of health insurance through the HR department that commissioners can get? Can we qualify for any kind of health insurance through the HR?
My understanding is health insurance is available to commissioners through the state health plan if you choose to pay for the premium.
I thought Mr. Martin paid for it.
That was a board decision years ago.
I got you. Thank you.
So I have a question. So a charter school, I'm just trying to get clarity. Like, let's be hypothetical. If the structures now were independently built and funded and they collect rent, you're saying with this new declaration, the county now all of a sudden is going to be responsible for capital improvement?
Not responsible for, but now has the opportunity to fund it if you choose to.
If you
There's
choose
no
to.
requirement, right.
But there's no requirement. Gotcha. Okay, so that's a big, I'm just trying to get clarity.
In the past, the county didn't have legal authority to if you wanted to. If a board
Gotcha.
wanted to.
Okay.
So now you
So
have.
that's a yes or a no based on do we need to do that or not? I was just wondering.
It ain't gonna be that cut and dry.
It's gonna be,
It ain't gonna be that
it's
cut
a
and
straight
dry.
out political issue now. That's what it be. It's straight out political. That's what it's.
Well, you heard the answer.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
yeah, but
it's
that
not
doesn't
gonna be
make
that
sense.
easy.
I know.
My still dry.
I have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Peters.
Second.
Second by Dr. Mongols. All in favor, say aye.